he's coming to help us. But here's the point. You know, we are architects and designers, and we pride ourselves on the environment that we create. And so whether we're doing land planning or architecture or interior architecture, that's great. But you know what? That's really only half of the picture. And the other half is really the physical and mental and social well-being of the people that come to live in the communities. Now again, I can't go into it tonight, but when you come on Thursday night, we'll be talking about some of the innovative things. We've got John helping us, where we aren't just creating a green environment at Ransom Green, we're actually taking care of the well-being of the people that will come and live there. In addition to that, we actually now have a new component, and that is the Patriot Outreach Program. The Patriot Outreach Program is something which is sweeping the nation in terms of a concept, and so it is actually an organization that deals with wounded vets, disabled vets, vets that have suffered from, or are suffering rather, from post-traumatic stress disorder, and that are trying to recover from major brain damage. We also will have, we had a meeting a week and a half ago at the National Institute for the Blind, and we will be manufacturing products in Ransom Green with blind people. And that's a program that already exists in Pennsylvania. And the guy who heads that up is a guy called Frank Lubeck, and he's a fascinating guy, one of the original Renaissance men. He's going to bring a Segway with him. I'm thinking about having races up and down the corridor outside here. But it's interesting in terms of what he has been able to do, just a one-man band, a one-man tinkerer, in improving the lives of people, and that's very much a part of what we're striving for out there as well. So,
those of you that are confused by the Segway, it's a Segway that's been modified as a wheelchair, so it actually allows someone who doesn't have the use of their legs to be at the same level as the rest of us in their wheelchair on the Segway.
So he's bringing that Segway, and so you can sit on it and see if you can operate one. I've never stood on one, I don't know, it might be fun. I think we've better check with the insurance in the building so we can have somebody drive you through the front door. So anyway, just in a nutshell, everything that we do has to go beyond where I will say the rest of them are out there, and thanks to our green team and some of the support that we've had, I think we are going beyond that. What you will hear and see on Wednesday are some of the absolutely fascinating things. I can give you a couple of little dangles. I know you've all finished eating, but you know, we have the technology that can now take raw human sewage and turn it into a power source, electricity. If you don't like that, alternatively, we can take that same substance and we can turn it into biodiesel. And these are not pie in the sky things. These are here and now and real and are being demonstrated. Whether we'll use them all is a different issue, because there are so many things that we actually will be getting involved with that we can't do everything. But what we can do, which is absolutely unique, is use what we're going to be doing as a test bed. And so we've got different methods of construction, and so when we build our housing stock, we'll be test bedding this construction method versus that construction method versus this one to test out cost and obviously above all the insulation values and the actual viability and constructability of some of the systems that we're talking about. That's absolutely unique. We have the ability to create a real test bed here where we can show the rest of the country, the rest of the world, where this is all going. And you know what? I would really love, after the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, to actually put this country right at the forefront in the world instead of really being, say, a drag anchor on the rest of the world, and really show that the kind of ingenuity that we have here can really lead the rest of the world. You'll see a lot of that stuff on Wednesday with the products, and on Thursday when we start to talk about the Ransom Green project itself. So, in conclusion, this is our corporate motto, and since we have DCS employees here will forget this last bit, okay? But the point really is, do good work and have fun, because we really can lead the rest of our industry. So do good work, have fun, and make money if we can. If the clients will let them. You know, it's been a tough 3 years, 4 years, 5 years now that we've been doing it. You know this, every one of you sitting here. We have come through it, maybe not quite untouched, but you know, the future looks absolutely super and really, really exciting.
Really green.
Really green, yes, and there it is. So that's it. And so I think, Kathy, there are some other things. You want to go through those and then we'll take questions and answers?
No, let's go ahead. I went through
Okay.
this stuff at the beginning, so let's go ahead to Q&A. Anyone have any questions for Doug or
For Kathy.
for me?
If you have no
Seems like
questions,
Teresa
Doug is
said.
going to repeat his presentation.
Since I got get it all messed up, then Kathy, you can
I
straighten me
I
out.
think we're getting probably pretty close to 1 o'clock. I did want to go through a couple of things. Doug has gone through on a macro level all of some of the things that we need to be thinking about in our designs and in our daily lives. On a micro level, I have a list of a couple of items that I think we need to be incorporating in all of our projects. Item number 1 is start the dialogue. You don't wait for the city to tell you that you have to do a LEED project, or wait for the client to tell you that they're interested in pursuing LEED. There are things that we can do that don't cost any money, that we can go ahead and incorporate into the project. And you're the architect, you're the expert, you're the one that they're looking to for guidance. So start that dialogue with your clients, with your consultants, early in the project, and help people move in this direction. Another item is respect the natural hydrology. There are a lot of ideas about low impact development and ways that we can allow the natural water flows to percolate through the ground using pervious pavement, using more vegetation and native vegetation, using green roofs. Respect those natural flows, because that will reduce our impact on the site infrastructure as well. All that dirty water that's being washed off our asphalt and concrete parking lots is just going into the storm sewers to then be treated, and our systems are being overwhelmed already. Protect occupants from VOCs. There was a new report on carcinogens that was released by the Department of Health and Human Services. They issue a report every year of known carcinogens and suspected carcinogens that are affecting human health. And they've added a couple of things that are part of the products that we specify on a regular basis. One, and these are known human carcinogens, is formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is present in a lot of wood products, laminate products, composite doors, plywood, things like that. They're known, it's been proven to cause cancer in human beings. If we can avoid speccing that and putting that kind of a product into the air for the people we serve, we should do that. Another is vinyl chlorides, and this one has actually been on the report since 1980 when it began, and this is used to make PVC. People most at risk are the plant workers that are creating the PVC, but it's also emitted into the air in factories, and it's off-gassed by PVC products, so we should try to avoid that. And another item that's been added this year, reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen, is styrene, as well as fiberglass from insulation that are inhalable fibers. So other products to avoid. We should shop local. There's a lot of energy involved in creating a material and then transporting it across the country. We're fortunate to be in an area where we can get masonry, we can get concrete, we can get steel studs, we can get structural steel, we can get ceiling tiles, we can get all sorts of products within a 500-mile radius of our sites. So we should try to specify products that allow that to happen. Addressing lighting. Lighting is 20 to 30% of a building's energy consumption. So there's a huge opportunity for savings in lighting. Provide public transportation, or public transportation access rather, not only high-density sites in urban cities, but allowing the path from your buildings to the public transportation to be a pleasant experience, so people actually want to use the public transportation. Close the loop. This is a big one. We should be pursuing closed loop systems that allow our buildings to sustain themselves. So systems that collect rainwater for domestic use and then use that rainwater for irrigation, or use domestic wastewater for irrigation, and then that irrigation allows the water to recharge aquifers and to be evaporated back into the atmosphere to be reused.
I have to say one that is literally breaking edge, and that is that rainwater is much more effective in terms of trying to create hydrogen through electrolysis than is tap water. So
Is that right?
it's a very, very potent use of rainwater, and so we should be getting more into systems and collecting that as we move forward.
That's the other opportunity to close the loop in energy. You can generate the energy on site, and you're using it on site, and in some cases even putting it back into the grid. And then the last item I have is make sure that buildings and the projects have the ability to track performance. We put a lot of effort into design and then hand over the building to people who may or may not know how to use that design most effectively. So providing them with a system like a building automation system and sub-metering and a way to access the data and determine whether or not the building is performing the way it was designed to perform. Commissioning is another good way to do that on a regular basis, so that you know that the building is providing the things that it's supposed to.
And just to add to that, we talk about closed systems and we talk about energy conservation, and so far what we're all really focused on is really individual buildings. And what we need to be doing as a community is driving ourselves towards Central Station. And we actually, right here at the metro station, have what we hope will be the Tyson's Corner and maybe Fairfax County's first central station system. This is working with Steve Cumby of NB Commercial. The results are really amazing. That is, if you take a comparison between any group of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings using a central station system, and I'm talking about CHP, okay, cooling, heating, and power, which, as long as we stay below 150 megawatts, is actually sort of like acceptable to Dominion Power. That's a little bit wobbly, and this is touchy ground for the utilities, which literally have monopolies. But the savings can be beyond what we could do with lead, and the highest ratings of lead can be an extra 30, 40, and 50% below that. So we really need to be, and talking to the developer friends as well as our engineers and to ourselves, that we need to be pushing that. When you have an opportunity, not one building, not 2, not 3, but oftentimes 5, 6, 10, and when you get to crossing property lines, it gets to be a whole lot hairier with the utilities. But a part of the Fairfax County Energy Task Force, which was set up by Sharon Willover, who's the county chair, and she is really now interested and focused in this to the point where the suggestion was made that if anybody actually does seriously commit to this, that the county should give that developer 1 month processing of all of their plans. You can imagine what that would do. It would turn the world upside down. I'm not sure that that's going to be taken that seriously, but that's the kind of interest that the county has, and so we should be taking every opportunity that we've got to be pushing that. And you will hear a little bit about that again on Thursday night. Are you sorry you're not able to come on Thursday night?
So thanks all again for coming. I think that's going to be the conclusion. I'm going to tell you, well, they changed it there real quick, but anyone who has an AIA, is AIA or Lead AP, if you have your name on the sign-in sheet at the front of the room here, we will process access your AIA, continuing education hours. Lead hours are self-reported, but what we'll do for each of the events during GreenWeek, we'll be emailing a summary that's broken down in the same way that you have to enter it into your reporting online, so that you can kind of cut and paste what we've done here and report your hours very easily. So please put your name on the list if you're interested in that. A little more information about Tuesday. If anyone's still hungry, looks like we have lots. We ordered too much food today, so please have seconds, and we'll see you later on this week. So thanks all again.